I'm real tickled to have Hani Mourra back on again this year as a gold sponsor with RepurPOSE.io, an amazing system tool. I mean, it just does what we want it to do as podcasters to increase the value of our content and get it out there. Hani, welcome once again back to International Podcast Day.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me again. It's always fun to be here.
Well, yeah, I saw your little pre-run about 20 minutes ago on Facebook, and people just really get pumped up about this, and I think that's one of the really great things about International Podcast Day, how we can come as a community and learn.
Yeah, it's just come and hang out and let's learn, talk, teach, learn something new, and always teach something new as well. So it's always fun. It's always fun to see good friends again.
Absolutely. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you. Hope you have a really great session and looking forward to talking to you at the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody to a happy International Podcast Day. I'm excited to be here. My name is Hani Mourra, and I'm the founder of a software called RepurPOSE.io, and I'm honored to represent Canada. I'm also honored to be a gold sponsor as well. It's a great event that Steve and Dave run all the time. The past couple of years, I've been involved, I want to say almost every year, if not every year. So today I'm going to talk and also demo our software, our platform called RepurPOSE.io. And the whole premise of this platform is to help you maximize the exposure for your podcast. So you create the content once, you create your podcast episode. How do you get it out to multiple platforms without spending hours creating little clips, cutting here, uploading there, converting audio to video, all that tedious stuff? How do you automate that, systemize that? How do you get it out to multiple platforms without spending hours after publishing every episode? So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to kind of step back and see the big picture and then dive into how our platform works. All right, so I'm going to do my screen share. Hopefully we don't have any glitches here. So I'm going to pop in. I'm going to kind of do a screen share, talk a bit, trying to pop to the comments as well. So feel free to leave a chat comment. I am going to keep an eye on it as well. So, leave it there. If I don't answer right away, I will get to it and get you up. Let's get the show going. So I'm going to share my screen and jump to here. All right. So actually, before we jump into the software, I wanted to show this. So this is a kind of, I put this together maybe about 3-4 months ago, and it's been great response. It's a high level picture on basically what to do after you've created your content and what platforms, social, website, etc. What platforms do you want your content to be on so you get the maximum exposure? So let me just zoom in a bit here. So you start with an audio episode. Right? I'm assuming you're starting with an audio content, and if we have time at the end, I can show you how we can repurpose some of your videos into podcast episodes. But if we don't get to that today, it's all good. I want to focus on audio. I imagine a lot of podcasters now are focusing primarily on audio or starting with audio. So you start with an audio piece of content. Where do you want that content to go? Before you start posting it on different platforms, I just want to mention one thing. A lot of people forget this or maybe not aware of this or get confused by this. When you have a podcast host that hosts your podcast and they generate your podcast feed for you, they also have the option to put that onto what's called podcast directories. So such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, etc. So those are platforms that are, they're called more like directories. So you're not uploading content to them directly. But your content, your episodes, your shows are listed in their directory. So Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all those are there. The beauty is your podcast host will help you connect that or basically help you get your show on those listings. And there's nothing for you to do after you do that initial connection with them. And that's handled outside of our platform. That's handled by your podcast host. So that's one place you definitely want to be. Is you want to be on the Apple Podcast, Spotify's, Google Podcasts. So talk to your podcast host; they'll help you set that up, and it's done. You set it up once, and it's done for you. Then where else do you want to go? Well, you want to go where your audience hangs out, or where your potential audience hangs out. So first place I would recommend is to get that audio content onto your blog. I have here the WordPress, but you don't have to be WordPress. It can be any website. You want to have it on kind of, I call it your home base. So you want to get your content on your home base. So, if you don't have a home base, get a home base. If you have a blog, put it on your, part of your blog, or a separate section of your blog or your website. And even if you don't have your own website, a lot of podcast hosts give you a website as well. So you definitely want that content on a platform where you own, meaning like it's your website, your domain, your website, but also more importantly, it gives you flexibility to engage more, like meaning you can capture email addresses, you can have buttons for them to subscribe to your podcast on different platforms. So you got a lot more flexibility for capturing an email or engaging more by having it on your website. So if you're not doing that already, that's probably the first thing you want to do is either get a website or get your episodes onto your website. Next, which is going to be kind of the bulk of where we're going to talk about, where I'm going to demo in this presentation, is you want to get it on social. I mean, everybody hangs out on social, Facebooks, and I'm old, so I say Facebook first, but the Instagrams, the IGTVs, LinkedIn, Twitters, wherever and everywhere that you think your audience hangs out, on YouTube, of course. Put your content on there. And there's different reasons for different platforms. But to me, YouTube is like the first obvious choice. You want to put it on a place where basically it is owned by Google, but it's basically a search. It's where the search happens. You search on Google, you get results on YouTube. So your content's on YouTube, you have a higher chance, if you do your SEO and your keywords, you have a higher chance of you're getting that content discovered when it's on YouTube. Getting it on Facebook, Instagram, etc. So to do that, all these platforms require video. So if you're an audio podcaster, you want to convert that into a video. So we're going to cover how our platform handles that for you automatically. But more importantly, I wanted to cover two things. One is on some platforms, before I get into that, you want to make sure that you're not sharing links on these social platforms. Facebook's, Instagram, they all I don't say hate. They're not big fans of links. They want you to post content natively, i.e. they want you to create a video and upload it to their platform, not share a link to your website and say, click here to listen. You want the content to be uploaded directly they want you to upload the content on their platform directly. And this is where we help you do that with our software. And the reason is they don't want people to leave their platform. Facebook doesn't want people clicking links. They want them to stay on Facebook. Same with Instagram, same with Twitter. They want you to, each platform, social platform wants you to stay on that platform. So make sure the content that you publish, is not a link to a YouTube video, for example. Like let's say you upload to YouTube and then you want to share your links across social. That's great, but it's not going to get you as much love or attention compared to uploading the actual video onto YouTube and then uploading the actual video onto Facebook and then uploading the actual video or parts of it onto Instagram, onto Twitter as videos. That's very important. That's going to get you a lot more attention, meaning showing up in people's feeds. And LinkedIn, I always forget LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is, I don't know, this year I'm feeling LinkedIn's getting a lot of attention. They've got into video a lot and live streaming, etc. So don't forget about LinkedIn. And the thing is, you don't know where your audience is hanging out. So with our software or with any software, the whole idea is to get it onto as many platforms as possible. All right. So, and then the last thing I want to mention is platforms are kind of silly. In my opinion, they're silly. Some of them like vertical, some of them like square, some of them prefer horizontals. Then it gets a little messy and tricky. So, be careful, read their guidelines, figure out what each platform prefers, and make sure that it's in the right format. Whether it's square, vertical, or horizontal. And last but not least, there's time limits. Some platforms let you upload, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, no big deal. Some let you go as short as 30 seconds to 2 minutes, like Twitter, for example. I think LinkedIn goes up to 10 minutes, Instagram, 1 minute, Instagram TV for most people, 10 minutes. So pay attention to those and cut up your content, or decide whether you want the full episode or clips of your content to go on that platform. So yeah, those are the factors: size, length of your episode, and which platforms to upload. You want to be on as many as possible. So what we did was we created an online tool called RepurPOSE.io. And if you go to RepurPOSE.io/IPD, you can try it for free and publish 4 episodes and experience it yourself. There's also a discount as well for International Podcast Day. It's 20% off. So go to RepurPOSE.io, try it out if you haven't done so already. And go. I'm just going to demo how it all works. And the whole idea is you want to set up these systems that automatically kick in, automatically take your audio, convert it to a video in the right dimensions, horizontal, vertical, square, and automatically publish them to as many social platforms as we're allowed to. And if you want to upload to other social platforms, let's say, you got a big following on Pinterest and Pinterest supports video, or you're playing around with TikTok and you want to get your content on there. We have the option to send these videos right to a Dropbox or a Google Drive folder. And from there, you grab it and upload it to other platforms that we haven't integrated yet. So we have that flexibility in our system. So anyway, that's all good. I just want to give you the gist of it. And just going to jump right into the demo. I'm just going to quickly peek at the comments if I can without messing this up here to see if anybody's got any quick questions. In the meanwhile, all right, nothing good. Good. I'll just keep going. I love it. All right, so you can see here, this is RepurPOSE.io. So there's no software to download. It's not a tool you install on your computer. It's basically a tool you log in, you create your account, and you hook up things to it. You hook up your YouTube account, your Facebook account, your RSS feed. So it's not designed to change where you host your podcast. It's not designed to force you to upload audio to us or anything like that. Everything we do takes over after your episode is published. So we're compatible with any podcast host. We don't change the way you edit, the way you upload content to your podcast host. Nothing changes. You do your usual business. You get your content onto your podcast host. It's live on your podcast feed, and then our software can take over based on the rules that you set. All right. So first thing you want to do is what we call a connection. So if you go to the connections page, you can see I have a few connections here. So a connection is an account. You want to hook up your audio podcast. You can hook up a video podcast. You can hook up a Facebook page, a Google Drive, SoundCloud, Dropbox, YouTube, Twitter, Libsyn, Binge, LinkedIn. So we're working on adding more and more connections. So the whole idea is, think of a connection as one of your accounts, your social media account, or in some cases, your RSS feed. So I've already added my Dropbox. I've already added my Facebook. I've already added my YouTube. But I want to show you how simple it is to add a connection or connect something to your system. So I'm going to connect my podcast feed. So I'm just going to give it a name. I'm just going to say Hani's Podcast. And then here you can go and get your Apple Podcast link. If you're not, just Google your podcast and you can copy the Apple link, or probably better, or it's the same. If you know your podcast feed, which you get from your podcast host, you can just punch it in right here. I use Libsyn for my testing, but it's fully compatible with any podcast feed. If your podcast is, on Apple Podcasts, if your podcast is on any platform and you have an RSS feed for it, you can plug it in here and you're good to go. So I say connect. It checks it out. All right, let's just make sure it's all good. It says success, and that's it. And then, I've already done it before, but you would go and add a YouTube account, and you say add connection. It pops up, and you say connect. You authorize it to access your YouTube. Give it permission to upload to your YouTube account, and you can add that. And then you can add Facebook, and et cetera, et cetera. So you can add all these connections And so we haven't done anything yet. All we did was we just connected we connected these connections into the software. Now what the fun part happens is when we go to this section called workflows. So a workflow is a rule, basically, that says, what's my input? What am I starting with? What's my action? Am I going to convert the audio to a video, or am I going to take the audio as it is, or take the video as it is? And then the third step, and the final step, is where do I want to send the final result? I want to upload that to YouTube, or upload that to Facebook, or to Twitter, etc. So those are the 3 questions you have to answer for each workflow. So for this demo, I'm just going to show you how to take an audio podcast, turn it into a video, and automatically send that to YouTube. So I'm going to say create the new repurpose workflow, give it a name. It could be any name you want. Just be careful here. Name them, give them good names, clear names to you, because you can have a whole bunch of workflows, and then a week later you kind of get, oh, what does this workflow do? What does that workflow do? So name them accordingly. So I'm going to say podcast to YouTube. This will help you get organized and keep track of all your workflows. So now it's going to ask me, what is my input? So what am I starting with? I am starting with an audio podcast, and I'm just going to choose Hani's podcast. That's the one I connected earlier. Say next. And so the next step is asking me, what's my action? Do I want to convert the audio to video? Yes. So because my goal here is to send this off to YouTube, it must be a video. So my action is convert the audio to a video. And then you have an option to go full episode or snippets. Like I mentioned earlier, some platforms have limits, 2 minutes or so on Twitter, LinkedIn, 10 minutes, etc. So you have the option here to click snippets or full episode. For this part of the demo, I'm going to do full episode. I'm going to come back and show you how the snippets options works as well. So I'm going to say full episode, because my intention is to go to YouTube. I'm going to go with full episode. Say next. And where do I want to send the final video to? Well, I want to send it to my YouTube account. And if you have a playlist on your YouTube channel, you can select it, or you can create a brand new playlist. I recommend it if you're doing a podcast, have its own playlist within your YouTube channel. For the demo, I'm just going to leave it as none. It's all good. And say create workflow. So that's it. I have my workflow. It takes an audio, converts it to a video, and sends it off to my YouTube account. So click view episodes, and here is a list of all my episodes, all my podcast episodes, and my episode specific artwork. So if I have a guest on there that I upload their image to, on my podcast host, it's automatically picked up here. The published date, when it was live on my feed, and then all you do is hit publish. So I'm going to hit publish, and you're probably thinking, well, what are you publishing? It's an audio file. What does the video look like? I'll show you that in a second, but I am going to hit publish now and let it do its thing. So when you hit publish, it comes up. It pulls the title from your podcast feed. It pulls in the full description from your full show notes from your podcast host as well. So you don't have to retype anything in here. Everything is automatically grabbed and already pre-populated for you from your podcast host. So I'm just going to hit publish, and it's going to go in the queue, and then within a few seconds, it's going to start processing here. All right, just give it a second. Okay, processing. So while it's doing that, I want to go into the settings and show you really what you can do in terms of how to take this audio into video. So we use a template-based system. So everything is templatized. You have the option of choosing a horizontal, vertical, or square, depending which platform this workflow is designed to go to. Since we're going to YouTube, the default is horizontal. And we have 6 templates. And we also have the option to upload your own. We have some specs. If you click this link, it gives you a lot of details on how to design your own template. You can use a simple tool like Canva, do it within a few minutes. But let's just pick this one, for example, and hit preview. So this is what the video it generates looks like. So we have this horizontal video. The title is the title comes from the title of your episode. So that's automatically populated into the video. There's actually a moving waveform. So this is a live waveform based on the true audio sound. So it gives it a little more, it gives it dynamics, right? It gives you moving motion because it is a video after all. There's some little bit of moving motion helps compared to a static image. And then this is the either your iTunes artwork or your episode specific artwork, like your guest. It automatically pulls that in and puts it into this location. Everything else back here, that's part of the template. So if you design your own, you can have your own branding. And all we do is superimpose title, waveform, and image on top of that. And that's it. Now we have a vertical version. Looks very similar. So got the waveform. You have a few extra fields. You have more text when you do snippets. When you do a vertical video, you have an option to do more text. I'll explain that when I show the snippets feature. And then squares is the same kind of idea. So the whole idea is you pick a template or you design your own once, you upload it to the workflow, and then you'll get a unique video with a unique title burnt into it automatically. So you don't have to basically edit or do anything for each video. So there's a bunch of settings here. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but you can choose add some calls to action, keywords, what category on YouTube, etc. There's a lot of settings there. You can even add a progress bar. So we have a cool progress bar within the waveform itself. Really comes in handy when you're doing snippets. But I'm just not going to change anything. I just go with the default value. And if I hit refresh here, we see that this episode is done. So if I click on this preview icon, it opens up the video on YouTube. So that was it. Our video's live on YouTube. It put in the title, it's put in the waveform automatically, and all our show notes are automatically pulled in as the description on YouTube. So literally with one click of a button, I've published my episode. I've converted my audio into a video, to a nice looking video, and it's live on YouTube, which is awesome. What's even more awesome is once you're done with this, I can go in here and hit publish to publish all my episodes. Like you can go as far back as your feed has episodes. So if you have 100 episodes, you can publish all 100 to YouTube or to anywhere you want. But the coolest thing is this: once you've published one or two or three, and you're happy with the way it looks and the way it works, you can turn this on. We have a switch. This goes from manual publishing to auto publishing. That does two things. Once you hit auto, it will take every episode you have here and add them to the queue. So it gets ready, queued up to go processing, which is cool, which is awesome. And you can decide not to do all your episodes. So that's cool too. You can set it, say, starting January 1st, 2019, only publish those episodes. So you have flexibility there. But the coolest thing of all is any episode going forward, you don't have to log into RepurPOSE anymore. So you don't need to come in here every time you publish an episode and hit publish. Within an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, our system will detect a new episode that's on your podcast feed and automatically work its magic and make the video, and the video is automatically on YouTube, and you didn't have to do anything. And that's turned on when you flick the switch from manual to auto. I'm not going to do that now, but that's how you would do it. So that's where the magic is. So you publish episode once, and then you set it on auto publishing. All right. So if I go back to the main workflow, I'm just going to check if anybody's any quick questions before I continue. Linda's there. Say, oh, DTube. Sean's asking about DTube. I heard about DTube. I'm getting a few people asking about DTube. Gary's in the house. That's why. Yeah, Gary's the one who's been asking about DTube a lot. So yeah, DTube is on my list. It is. I keep saying, I don't think Gary believes me, but it is on my list. It is to investigate their API so we can look at publishing to other platforms like DTube and other ones as well. So yeah, great. I'm just gonna quickly scroll up, see if any other questions. All right, cool. Nothing specific yet. I'll keep going. I still got a bit of time, but I'm just going to keep going with the demo. So what I did now so far, just a quick recap: audio podcast, convert to video, set it to YouTube, and then if I wanted to, I can turn it on to be fully automated. So I chose full episode by default, and I chose a horizontal video by default. But now I'm going to make another workflow that takes a video, takes a snippet, so I can take a small clip as long as I want, 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, whatever I want, and then automatically send that to Facebook. So that's what I'm going to call. That's what I'm going to do in this workflow. So I'm going to say podcast snippet to Facebook, just to show you how the snippet feature works. All right. So same thing. I'm going to choose audio podcast as my input. And this time I'm going to say, instead of full episode, I'm going to say snippets and hit next. And last but not least, where am I sending the final video? I'm going to send it off to Facebook. And when you say Facebook, oh, there's an issue with my Facebook connection. So I have to reconnect my Facebook. So just give me 1 second. This is our test site, by the way. So just bear with me. Oh, that's not good. So I'm going to skip Facebook. I'm going to go over to my Dropbox. I shouldn't be demoing on our test site, but I wanted to show you some of the new features, but it's all good. So ignore that for a second. I have a Dropbox connection that's set up. So I'm going to send the video to Dropbox. But you can send it directly to Facebook on our live site when you give it a try on our free trial. So let's just do this again. I'm going to say Hani's podcast to Dropbox, and I'm going to say square. So I want to make a square video, and I'm going to say snippet. Basically make little clips that I can post onto my Dropbox folder, which I can use on other platforms. All right, so sorry about that. So I'm going to choose audio podcast as my input, convert the audio to a video, and choose snippets, and then send the final product to my Dropbox. So I can choose a Dropbox folder if I want to, but for the demo, I'm just going to leave it as is. Hit create, and same kind of deal. I go here, view episodes. One thing you'll notice different is the scissor icon. So every episode, I'm going to scroll down for a bit. Just ignore the top half for a second. I want to show you something cool here. So normally every episode, because we did snippets, you have the option to click the scissors and make one or more snippets per episode. So I can, for example, take this one here, create a snippet. It pops up the audio editor here. I can slide this around. I can expand it and just kind of pick the segment. Let's say I want this 1 minute piece here. And I can listen to it and cue it up and just make sure it's starting and ending in the right spot. And then give it a name. So I can say, Hani shares how to repurpose content, whatever. So this is kind of the title of this particular snippet. Maybe something your guest is sharing or something you're sharing that you want to highlight in this clip. So I say create snippet. So it makes that snippet right here. But what you'll notice, another thing, that's one way of making it. This is probably the most common way of making snippets. So I can hit publish. Actually, before I hit publish, I want to change it to a square. So I want to show what the square template looks like. Actually, you know what? I'll make it vertical. Let's assume this is going to IGTV. Right? I want to put my content on Instagram stories or on IGTV. Vertical is still the preferred method. So it will look something like this. So I'm going to pick a vertical template and just pick the first one, for example, and say save and hit publish. So it takes the title of the snippet or the quote from the guest or whatever you typed in when you create your snippet. That's the title that appears on top. And then you can have a subtitle or a caption below, either typically your episode name or maybe even a call to action. You can say, hey, subscribe to my show on Apple Podcasts or visit my website, etc. So you can customize what the two text fields up here and down here will say per episode. I'm just going to hit publish, leave it in my defaults and hit publish. Let it do its thing. But another cool thing you can do is if you already do key takeaways like timestamps in your show notes, then RepurPOSE will automatically pick them up. So I don't know if you noticed down here, for example, for this episode, we have all these snippets with these times, 1 minute to 1 minute and a half, 1 and 38 to 2 minutes. These were automatically created for me in the system. They're not published, but they're automatically created, ready for me to publish. So the advantage here is if you spend the time to write down the timestamps in your show notes. So when you upload an episode to your podcast host, you upload the audio, you do the title, the description. Inside that description, if you spend a few minutes and you say, at the 1 minute mark, Bob talks about this. At the 2 minute mark, Steve talks about this, and you share like 5 or so key takeaways with the time markers, RepurPOSE will automatically get the snippets for you, basically ready to go. So all you need to do is hit publish. You don't have to go into our editor, and re-select the times. All you need to do is just it gets it all ready for you. And if I want to publish that snippet, I can go ahead and publish it. So that's the second way. It's a more advanced way, but it's a huge time saving in the sense that you don't have to open each episode, create a clip. You can just give it the times in your description and we'll make the clips for you automatically. All right, so this one's still processing. It's still working on the vertical video. And it shouldn't be much longer from that. All right, so I'll come back to that in a second. So I just showed you how to publish to Dropbox and how to publish to YouTube. So let me go back to my diagram here because I wanted to explain one thing. So we've kind of done this workflow here, audio podcast to a horizontal video to YouTube. We've done that. Now we're doing a vertical video to a Dropbox folder. Now, in this diagram, as of today, on podcast day, September 29th/30th, the only way to get content onto Instagram TV, or LinkedIn is to first publish it to Dropbox. So you have an MP4 file. You can do whatever you want with it, i.e. you can upload it to IGTV, upload it to LinkedIn, etc. So there's no direct integration. Instagram is very tight on which developers can connect to their platform, and there's no way to do anything on Instagram TV, at least not yet. And I'm sure that will come. It's just a matter of time. But LinkedIn, the good news about LinkedIn is we are days away from allowing you to publish directly to LinkedIn. So you don't have to go to Dropbox anymore. If you're going to LinkedIn, you can make a workflow that says, audio podcast, publish directly to LinkedIn. So that's coming out in like days, literally days. We're very excited about that. Another thing we're excited about is Facebook. Even though you can't publish to Instagram TV or Instagram directly, they released the ability to schedule content onto IGTV and Instagram from one of their free tools called the Creator Studio. So what that means is you can have all your clips sent to your Dropbox and then go to Facebook Creator Studio, facebook.com/Creator Studio, and queue up your episodes so that every day you have fresh content on IGTV and on Instagram or on Instagram. So even though we don't directly do it, by getting all your clips into your Dropbox, you can load them up into Facebook's tool, which is a free tool, and you can have them go out on every day or every couple of days or whatever period you want, which is awesome. All right. Oh, I feel like I'm talking so fast. So let's just refresh this. Okay, this guy's done. Let's preview what it looks like. So it should take me to my Dropbox folder. And this is it. So this is the video. With the title on top. What you'll also notice is by default with the snippets, we have a built-in progress bar. Because typically snippets are short. So posting short content on social media, if you have a progress bar, it's just another way of another visual representation that this content is short. I'm going to stick around and listen to it. So just another way of just helping your audience just engage with that, encouraging your audience to engage with your content. Not knowing how long an episode is just helps them kind of stick around longer, especially with a very short clip. They say, it's only a minute. I'll stick around and I'll listen. All right, so that's the vertical video option. You can do the same thing with square. Okay, so I can go and demo the rest of it, but to be honest, it's all the same idea. You would make a new workflow to take an audio podcast, to go into horizontal or square, send that off to Facebook. Do you make another one that goes onto Twitter, etc. So the whole idea is that there's, and depending on which plan you're on, there's unlimited number of workflows that you can create, and you just design them. And then the ones that you're comfortable turning on auto publish, you turn them on auto publish. The ones that involves you making little clips, you would leave them in manual, make the clips or the snippet, and then go from there and publish. So that is kind of, as far as I wanted to go with the demo for the podcasting side. Just going to pop and see if anyone's got any questions. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, look at the question, and then if there's no questions, I'll pop back in and do some more demos. All right. Let me see if I can scroll up here that messes this up. So, all right. So, yeah, Gary's asking about D2. We talked about that. Yeah, we're going to get D2 in the queue to look into it. Linda's saying she's using Repurpose. That's awesome, Linda. Good to see you here. Marco's asking, what if we have more than one podcast? How do we keep it all separate? That is a fantastic question. So depending on which plan you're on, basically we have 2 plans right now for podcasters. And basically you can add with our, what we call a content marketer plan, our highest plan lets you go up to 5 podcasts. So you can basically add 5 connections. Actually, let me just show it. It might be easier to show how that works. Share my screen again. All right, so back in the connections page, we have 1 audio podcast connected right now. I can add another one. I can say Hani's second podcast, give it an RSS feed. I'm just going to use the same one again just for the demo because I only have 1 right now. So what you would do is, so now we have 2 connections. So when you make your workflow, you say audio podcast to whatever, you would choose audio podcast as your starting point. And then here, you'll get the option to pick your second podcast or third or fourth or fifth. So this is where you would choose which podcast feed you were trying to publish from. And then also you have up to 5 YouTube accounts. You can publish to all your Facebook pages, etc. 5 Twitter accounts as well. So you can imagine having 1 podcast feed going to 1 YouTube channel, second podcast feed going to another YouTube channel. So with the content marketer plan, you can go up to 5 of each type of connection. And just since we're talking about plans, the pricing is very affordable. We're talking about our regular pricing is $12 a month for 1 podcast and $20 a month to do up to 5 podcasts and a whole lot more, which I might have a few minutes to show you some of the video features that we have. So this platform is not only for podcasts, not only for audio creators, it's also for video creators. You can repurpose videos from live streams onto YouTube automatically. You can take live streams onto audio podcasts. You can take any Facebook video and then turn them into a vertical video for IGTV. So it's a lot of video capabilities, equally powerful to the audio capabilities that you can do with Repurpose with the $20 a month plan. And with the discount code IPD for International Podcast Day, you can get 20% off. So it's very affordable. You can go, even if you go yearly, it's under $200 per year, or you can go monthly, month to month for around $17 with a discount. So it's very affordable to go up to 5 podcasts and all the video capabilities. All right, great question. Just gonna stop sharing for a second and see if there's any more questions. Is that Canadian Funds? Hello from Toronto. Hey, Marco from Toronto as well. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on whose perspective it is, everything's in US dollars right now. So that's $12 US and $20 US. With the discount, you can take 20% off that price. And it's even cheaper if you decide to go for the yearly plan. So I think you get an equivalent of 2 months for free I can't do the math right now. It's kind of late here. So, so you can take 20% off, basically 10 months of service. If you sign up for the whole year, fine. But before you do anything, I highly recommend just give it a try. You can go to repurpose.io/IPD, and there you start a free trial, and you can do 4 videos anywhere you want, to Facebook, to YouTube, etc. No watermarks. Just, you have the full experience. The only thing you're missing is the auto publish. But since you're only publishing 4 videos to try it, you won't get the auto publish in your trial, but that's cool. You can see what the videos look like. And if you're happy with it, then the discount code's already applied to your account if you sign up through that page. All right, awesome. Okay, since there are no more questions, Linda's just been a big user, a big fan. I appreciate you, Linda, for being here. Saying it's automatically repurpose your podcast, set it and forget about it. That's right. That's what we're all about. It's automation and systems. It's just, there's already too much time, like a lot of effort and energy spent on creating content, especially audio content. People think, oh, I'm not on video. It's audio. How hard can it be? It's equally, maybe even more challenging to do audio only content. From my experience, at least, it's sometimes easier to just go on video because you can just kind of see yourself, and I don't know, it feels a little more like you're talking to something when you're on audio, talking to a microphone, and sometimes it's hard. So anyway, the point being is creating content's hard. Creating audio content is, in my opinion, is even harder. So your energy should go into what to talk about, show content, getting it live to the world, and then after repurpose software takes over afterwards to save you a ton of time, so you don't have to do all these conversions of, from audio to videos to this size, this format, et cetera. It's all done for you, or it can help you automate a good chunk of it. All right, so we got about maybe 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes or so. So I'm gonna just quickly do, I want to show you one feature of the video. The video capability. So let me just share my screen really quick. I got too many tabs open. What did I miss? All right, let's start all over again. Now, we got this platform called RepurPOSE.io. Rick's got a great question here. So a platform called RepurPOSE.io that takes podcasts, audios, converts into videos, and distributes them and uploads them to multiple platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. So I was kind of walking through how that software works, how you set it all up. You can try it for free at repurpose.io/IPD. And then you'll automatically get a 20% discount if you decide to sign up. All right, so screen share, there we go. So I want to show one feature of the video. So if you're a video creator, everything we talked about assumes that you're an audio creator. Not a pure audio creator, but I mean your primary content is audio. I want to show, bear with me for a second. I want to show the video version. So I have another workflow diagram, very similar to what I showed earlier, where you start with audio, but this is focused on people who create videos as their primary source of content, or B, use live streaming, which is another form of video. And it's very similar to what I showed before, but it's got a few extra cool things. So assuming the big assumption here is we encourage you to upload your content to Facebook and stream to Facebook. And the reason is, once it's on Facebook, we have a lot more options for repurposing automatically for you. If you just go to YouTube, we don't have that flexibility. The YouTube doesn't allow us to do stuff with your videos, but Facebook does. So we encourage you to upload a video to Facebook, to your Facebook page in particular. You can do groups, etc., but your page, you get the most value, most features, or stream to your page, live stream with whatever tool you want to your page. And here's what you can do. You have an option to publish it to a blog post. So we have a WordPress plugin called Simple Social Press that will pull in that live stream after you're done, make a blog post, embed the title, description, video, and all the comments as well, which is really cool. So it's automatically on your homepage. It's already automatically on your website. That's one feature. The other thing is you can make a workflow that says, hey, take my video, strip out the audio, and optionally even add an intro and outro for it. So you can upload intro outro to our system. We can add that to the audio, and then we can upload that to a Dropbox folder. Or if you're on Libsyn, we can directly upload that to a Libsyn, your podcast. If you're hosting with Libsyn, you automatically have an episode in your Libsyn account, either a draft or published. And we're working with other podcast platforms as well, but right now we have SoundCloud and Libsyn directly integrated. And of course, if you're not on any of those, totally cool. You can send it right to your Dropbox or Google Drive folder. And then the next thing we can do is we can take a Facebook video and upload that to YouTube. So whether you're streaming on Facebook, we can upload the replay. Like everything we do is after the fact. So after you've done your live stream, we can send a copy to YouTube. We can send it to another Facebook page if you want. But here, where I think it's really fun and really exciting, is that you can take a video, a live stream or a regular video, and we can convert it into a horizontal video so that it's ready for IGTV, for example, or maybe Instagram story. But not only that, we burn in the title of the video. So these type of videos are more engaging because the title is right there. And then we also, if you enable the captions on Facebook, so Facebook has free captioning service on a Facebook page. Turn on the captions, you fix your captions on Facebook. When we make this video for you, we burn the captions right in here. So the captions are burned into your video. And we also have a nice progress bar as well. So the idea is when someone's watching on mute, which is probably most people by default, they can still follow along and learn something from your video, engage with your content on these platforms without having to turn the sound on. So that's something that we have basically in conjunction with Facebook. So you use free transcriptions from Facebook, upload a video to the page, turn on the transcriptions, clean it up, and then we burn that right into the video, and we can do a square version as well. All right, so let's see how much time I have left here. Not too much time, but basically, just to wrap up here, you would just want to show you how this one works. You would just go to make a new workflow, and I'm going to say, just take a Facebook video and go to vertical with captions. So I just want to show you how that workflow works. They're all very similar in the sense that the way you make workflows is very similar. You just choose your input. I'm going to say Facebook. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm sorry. There's an issue with my Facebook setup on our test site. I can't show you this feature. Totally forgot. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's see if I have a sample product in my Dropbox. I apologize for that. But you would say Facebook page, choose one of your pages, and say convert the video into a vertical video. So that's too bad I can't show you guys that option. I didn't think I have enough time to even do the video demo. All right, so let's scrap that idea. But the whole idea is once you make the workflow, you choose what style you want, vertical or square. I'm going to see if I can find a video in my Dropbox. I should have a video in my Dropbox somewhere that has the final product. Yeah, probably horizontal, vertical. Yeah, let's see, this one might work. No, that's not the one. Just bear with me for 2 seconds. I just want to show you. Here's a square version of what it looks like. Nope, that's not the one either. There we go. Okay. So I'm not sure how visible this is, but basically the idea is you have a title on top, progress bar, and then the captions burnt right into a video in a vertical video so that you can just take this file, upload it to IGTV right away, or schedule it using Facebook's Creator Studio tool, which is free from Facebook. So, you can do this with live streams. You can do this with any video. You can do this with the full episode, or you can do this with snippets. So you can create, little clips, multiple clips from a single video, and have a whole library of content that's scheduled to go on IGTV and Instagram, all through from within Repurpose, within just a few clicks. All right. Very cool. I'm going to stop my sharing so this thing doesn't look all crazy. Any other questions? All right. Let me see. Marco is saying, great seminar. Definitely going to try. Awesome, man. Love your feedback. I'd love to hear what you think. And yeah, maybe we'll hook up one day. I'm in Toronto as well, so it's good to meet more local podcasters. All right, so that's pretty much what I want to talk about, is just, the whole idea of creating content once and getting it out to multiple platforms is really like, it's just, I want to say, you can hire teams to do this for you, obviously. But the whole idea of Repurpose, it lets you, like as an independent podcaster or even someone with a small team, to manage everything from one place, so that you don't have to, go to a bunch of different tools to create this and convert this and upgrade, downgrade, upload, download, flip this way, that way, all that good stuff. The idea is that you just focus your energy, just your power, all your mental power on that content, creating it, getting it on to your podcast host as an episode, and that's it. The rest of it is either fully automated, or if it's not fully automated, you can definitely automate about 90% of it, and within a couple clicks by you or someone on your team, they can manage that for you. And it's very inexpensive. Like I said, the plans are $12 a month or $20 a month, and then you take an extra 20% off that with the discount code IPD. So go head over to repurpose.io/IPD and try it. Honestly, that's the best way. Try it yourself. We have some support videos as well that will walk you through the steps. And looking forward to helping you guys out with this software. I hope you learn something in terms of kind of like an overview of where you want your content to go, but more importantly, hopefully learn all about Repurpose or discovered it for the first time, and help you get everything systemized.
Hani, you're just a brilliant man. That's all I can say.
Thanks, man. I'm lazy. I'm just lazy, so that's why
you make it easy for the rest of us. And we really have about 2 minutes left, but I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity, because you have another product that I use that's really amazing. You want to talk about it real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, we have a plugin called Simple Podcast Press, which is designed to take your audio podcasts and turn them into episodes on your WordPress site. We have our own audio player. It basically imports every single episode from your feed into your website automatically, which is really cool. So just one less thing you need to do in terms of work. You publish an episode, it shows up on your site with the player, title, description, etc. Yeah, that's been around for probably one of my first plugins, actually. First tool I created about 4 years ago now.
I think
4.5 years ago.
Because when we had the very first podcast movement in Dallas,
14, yeah.
It was in 2014. You were demoing it then, and that's when I met you. Another fabulous product from Hani, Mourra. So, if you wouldn't mind, give your address one more time, and the value people can save during International Podcast Day.
Yeah, so if you want to try this Repurpose platform, it's at repurpose.io/IPD, and you try it for free. You can do 4 videos for free, no watermarks, etc., and then you save 20% automatically if you decide to upgrade. If you upgrade to the yearly or the monthly, it doesn't matter. You still get the 20% discount on that. So definitely check it out. Plans start at $12 and $12 and $20, and it's addictive. It's great. It's going to save you a ton of time. This is content you're producing weekly. You're going to save a ton of time.
Folks, that's Hani Mourra from RepurPOSE.io, a gold sponsor of International Podcast Day. And every year, Hani, it's just been remarkable to have you a part of what we're trying to do here at International Podcast Day. And I salute you and thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Bye, everyone. Happy International Podcast Day.
So, folks, we're going to end this broadcast. When the next one comes up, if you don't see it, please refresh and press play.